Alright guys, what's up? It's your boy Spider back for another, actually not even another, brand new gacha game just got dropped, like shadow dropped out of nowhere. I literally just found out about this like not too long ago. Now to be frank with you guys, I did already react to it, but we're gonna react to it one more time. But I'm gonna probably, you know, do my own thing. So if you guys want to see the actual trailer without any pausing, whenever, you might want to go watch it yourself. But I'm just gonna go talk about it basically because I already reacted to it. But this game, all I'm gonna say though, it looks fucking crazy. But before we get started though, I'd really appreciate you guys drop a like, comment, subscribe, would really help me out. Trying to get 1,000 subscribers, would really appreciate the help. Only takes 2 clicks. But with that being said though, let's get into this. So, brand new gacha game just got announced. It's called Silver Palace. So this game basically seems to be like a mix of like reverse 1999 with the time and the aesthetic of the where this game takes place in, while also having combat very similar to like Wuthering Waves, an open world kind of gacha game, but also having some really cool and different mechanics. Like it has kind of like the, I don't know if you guys have played the new, you know, the more newer generation of Doom games where there's like an execution mechanic. There's something like that also built into the combat here. The game just looks really beautiful too, I will say. Also, if you guys are wondering, this purple hair chick or character with like purple like color aesthetic, and then this dude here, these are both the main characters, kind of like most gacha games where you have male, female. You know, that's them you're playing as basically. Also, they haven't confirmed this is a gacha game, but there's a very high likelihood this will be a gacha game. There hasn't been too much information known about the actual studio working on this, but we'll go into a bit more information on that. But yeah, the game looks really good. Before we do get started though, on the videos here into this, so yeah, I already seen this, but it looks really good though. So you know, so I'll be here for you guys as well, so we can watch it together. But yeah, this game looks really, really good.
You may be the
like wow. Like when I saw this, I'm like, damn, that looks really nice though. With the quality of the game just looks really, really good. The voice acting sounds really nice too as well. But yeah, look at the game, guys. Look at the game. It looks so good. Like look how open it looks. Everything looks really like colored nicely. It has that like you know, like they said, they're going for like that Victorian like aesthetic, whatever. This mechanic's kind of cool too. There seems to be some sort of inspection mechanic, kind of like what Doing It Abyss has a little bit. But then you know, you can check if it's a human or a monster, and then you can start attacking them right away. Also, the classical music when you do fights is really cool as well. But yeah, it looks so good. Like holy, it's kind of funny she says assistant, right? Because clearly we're gonna have a whole bunch of assistants. You know, if it is a gacha game, which I'm pretty sure it is. Like I say, it's a high likelihood. This character looks really fucking hot though. This is like a big booba, like a vanguard, because she's like a shield basically, or like paladin kind of character. She looks hot as fuck. Probably one of my favorite characters in the game so far that I've seen, just because you know, it's much more my liking.
You're not welcome in Silvernia.
And of course, you know, we're gonna have a whole bunch of British voice acting, but I don't think that's a bad thing.
What are you gonna do?
This girl looks like Ganyu low-key, without the horns. But yeah, I think the story, well, we don't really know about the story, right? Because it's a whole new brand new gacha game. The story could be really good, you know, we'll have to wait and see on that one.
You know what it is.
This looks kind of cool. Also, the eyes, the way the eyes look for each characters are very nice too. And just like the quality of the game just looks really beautiful. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to experience the full quality because, you know, I don't have like a higher end PC, but it still looks really good. And the enemy designs looks really crazy too. It gives me a little bit of like a Bloodborne kind of feel. A little bit with like some of the enemies and some of the locales here. It looks really cool. This character, this boss fight here looks kind of crazy too with that chick. Looks crazy. This is something that is also very cool. The Pegasus thing, because you can fly around the whole map with that basically. And that's like one of some of the execution moves there. This one, I don't know if it's an execution move or whatever, but whatever that is, that looks so fucking cool. I've never seen a gacha game do shit like where like the fucking, you know, ripping the neck off like that. That's like part of the actual combat seemingly, which is pretty cool too. And one thing that's kind of cool that I've noticed too is that at least with the main character here seemingly, it looks like we're gonna have guns. You know, guns are gonna be kind of a big thing here among like other like weapons. And then, you know, got some like some Inception shit or whatever going in here. I think it's probably more of like visual stuff though.
Are the author.
I do wonder how the main character is gonna like play a role in this though. Like I wonder if they're gonna be like the usual, they're OP or whatever, or like
So why are you
I don't know, something else. I don't want to repeat my words here.
Excited.
Oh, hey. Also, this is hottie. I think when we go over to the gameplay part here, I think she's supposed to be like some sort of informant or something. I'm not too sure. But here's the gameplay. 10 minutes of full gameplay here. Now the game looks really cool. Also, yeah, look at the eyes, guys. Look, the eyes are kind of like cat eyes, no? They're like how big they are. It's because it's kind of like cat eyes. Also kind of scary, Loki. She's like staring into my soul here. But you know, kind of. I will say the UI. I know it has the usual like Genshin Wuwa kind of like archetypes where you have like some stuff up here, you get your map on one corner, your buff or whatever, your characters on one side. It's kind of similar to all of those, but it's also kind of like similar, heck, even in like a vibe sense to like Dune Night Abyss. Dune Night Abyss. If you guys didn't know, I did play the beta for that one, and that game was really good. Really good story. I will say though, the one downside to Dune Night Abyss was that visually, it wasn't too bad. Like it was nice, but this game feels like it's on a whole nother extra level of like visual like goodness here. But Dune Night Abyss story is really fucking good, surprisingly, like super good in my opinion. But anyways, you know, we're talking about this game, right? So we have different meters here, right? So it looks like we have an HP bar down here on the left, and then maybe like a energy ultimate bar on the right, and then I don't know what the middle is for exactly. And it looks like we can play up to 4 characters at the same time. And then yeah, we got our quest on the left here. We got walking animations. Maybe this is like some sort of like home base or whatever. Maybe we can customize it too, because the Dune Night Abyss has something like that too, where there's like a home base and you can customize that as well. Also, they did mention that this is only in Chinese dubbing. They don't have like the actual EN dub for this part of the game. So this whole video would just be in Chinese dub. That's fine, you know, no big deal. But yeah, like the game looks like really nice. Also, I will say, like, you know, the views on the behinds are gonna be great. You know, the view from like the third person view is gonna be very nice to look at. This is something I thought was really cool too. This extra mechanic here, where it seems like we have like some sort of I don't really know. I feel like some gacha games, some games do this, where it's like basically it's like a different way of visually showing you information, right? Kind of like in some games where it's like you could read like the text off like a book or whatever, and it's a little bit harder, but it's kind of cool. Or you can just have the text on the side, right? Or you can see the full text a lot easier read. But in this case, it's more of just like a visual, like cool way to show, you know, like the information here, right? So like, and then it looks like we have the translation here. So basically just, because you know, the whole thing is us being a detective, right? And probably figuring out mysteries and stuff like that. But that's pretty cool. I do like that part of the game too, as because that's like another thing that's make this game like, that makes this game very unique, right? Is like this kind of aesthetic for, you know, for visuals and stuff like that. Among like the combat also feeling very unique to itself compared to a lot of other gacha games where it's like Dune Night Abyss is like more kind of copied up Warframe a little bit. And some other games, and then WoW was kind of, you know, the general like open world combat with parries and everything, but of course taking the basis off of PGR, right? So like, but this game has like very unique combat from what I've seen for the most part, which I will say the combat looks really fun. Heck, I guess if anything you could say is that it's kind of like Devil May Cry combat a little bit, but like it's still different, right? Because it has stuff that like was like in Doom, right, with the whole finishers, which we'll be seeing soon enough here. Got another character here, like a lolly, a classic in all these gacha games, sadly. Well, I guess not really sad, because some people like them, right? Me, I don't really care about them. It looks like this character will also be playable too. Okay, that's interesting. She's not bad. She looks nice. Not my personal type, but not bad. But this is another playable character too. So hey, at least we have males in this game, right? I know some people like having males in this game. I actually don't mind having males. Like I don't really care, but it just kind of sucks when you know there's not one thing or the other. Also, what the fuck? She has a hearting. She has a beat, or beat. A heart. I was trying to, I don't know, my head fucking confused, switched the 2 words. She has a beating heart is what I was trying to say on her fucking back. What the heck? That's crazy. Hold on, let me go back. Yeah, what the fuck? Low key though, this character's giving off like potential 4-star vibes to me, but she could be a 5-star. I don't know, but she's giving me 4-star vibes, to be honest. But that's pretty cool design though, the fucking beating heart like that. Also, I will say I do love how the city looks like it's very like lively too. There's like a whole bunch of characters around, walking and stuff, which is cool, right? You know, it doesn't feel like it's gonna be too empty. One thing I did notice though is that it does seem like the game's gonna primarily take place in this big ass city, kind of like a Batman game almost, which some people might like, some people might not like. Though I guess you could also say it's kind of more of like competing with like NTE, Ananta. If you guys have seen those games where it's literally like open world, but like more so tied to the city aspect, and you do the combat inside the city. So it looks like it's going to be kind of like in that realm where it's like semi open world, but more so you're tied to like the city for the most part, and you're doing combat inside the city, right? Instead of going out and stuff. This mount though is really cool. Looks like we have different rarities like for armor and stuff. So looks like we get maybe speed, cooldowns. I don't really know what else is going to play into, but I don't know if this is going to be like a body thing here, or if this is just armor. but it looks like there's like different tiers here, and I'm kind of blocking on my camera here. But where my camera is, there's actually if I move it over, there's actually this gold rarity here for, but like I said, I'm not too sure if this is like an armor thing or if this is something else. I don't really know what the actual benefits of each thing are, but I'm gonna assume it's gonna be it's either related to combat or maybe some other thing in the game. And yeah, it looks like each it looks like the horse has like a horseshoe thing, but I don't know what these are gonna be for. Would it be kind of funny if like the gear is tied to the horse or whatever, like whatever gear you put on the horses, but like what gear you have for the whole team or something? Giddy up horsey. The drifting looks really fucking cool though. Kind of like, if you think about it, it's kind of like Sonic, no? It's kind of like Sonic. You're in the city, you're running, you're drifting. It's kind of cool, no? I will say though, one thing that seems interesting too is that it looks like there's no stamina meter as well. So it looks like you'll be able to literally just run around freely with no issues, with not having to worry about stopping your stamina or whatever. You can just go in. Also, if we go back a little bit for like a second, I don't know if you guys caught that. If you go like right here, basically, yeah, this is something that's really cool too. I really love this special like aesthetic they have going on with this game, where how they're showcasing like the text and everything. You know, like how sometimes like it'll just be kind of like a simple text or whatever, or whatever is some part of the screen. This is kind of like a cooler way to show it, right? Where it's just kind of like fades in like that, like in some actual games. You know, I haven't seen too many gacha games and stuff like that, so I think that's really cool. You know, I like cool aesthetics for like games, right? Also, looks like you can have some collision with some things in the game. As for how much, I'm not too sure. It might be like a little bit limited, I'd imagine. Like I'd imagine you probably can't ram into that like what is it? Not train, but the fuck a trolley or whatever. I'm assuming you can't ram into that and like, you know, topple it over, right? Like I'm assuming there's probably some stuff you can't do like that. But I think for like minor things, you could probably just pass it if you just, you know, want to keep the movement going, right? And this is like this interesting mechanic here too, where you can check a person and then see if they're a monster or like human. So here it says it looks like you check their outfit, their hair, any and then accessories. Okay, so that's for this character. So this person passed the check, and this person clearly, you know, is bad. Okay, so let's see. So they mentioned the outfit, blood, perfume, and avoid strong light. And then I guess if there's too many bad things, right, it'll like say, oh, this is an enemy, and then immediately starts the combat where you just shoot them in the face, and they're actually a werewolf. I will say like a minor nitpick though, it would have been kind of cool if maybe they like had an animation where instead of just like the generic, because you know that's clearly the generic enemy, like what's the word, like you know, that's like how a general enemy looks in this game, right? What would have been kind of cool is that maybe when you shoot them, maybe they tear off their clothes and then maybe they have some remaining parts of their clothes of like what NPC they were pretending to be. I think that would be kind of cool, but granted that's like a very like minute, like not really important thing, just kind of more of like a classic thing. Also, there seems to be like slight frame drops here and there in the game at certain parts, so hopefully that'll be patched when, you know, the game does release here. And then you guys can see in the bottom here, we have the shoot button, which is going to be our right click. And then we have and then looks like we have a dodge button. Then the ultimate is going to be Q. And then I don't know what this other button here is for. It's like a little circle thing, but it looks like it's tied to the middle mouse button. So maybe this is like an aim button. I'm not too sure though. And it looks like there's also parries in this game too, so that's cool. And you can kind of spam the gun basically. And then I think some moves are going to be with the actual melee with the sword here. And the counters look really good. And then here's the finisher, executioner kind of move. Like lets you do like pretty good chunk of damage. But yeah, the combat looks like really fun though. Like, like I can't get over this combat. It looks really, really good. Also, let me just double check. Holy, okay, yeah. Let's see. Warrant notice. Target apprehended. Press T for details. Okay. Wolf King. Oh, what is this? Oh, maybe this is, it looks like this is maybe tied to missions where it's like you like kill all the lower tier mobs, and then you kind of work up to the hierarchy, and then eventually you can fight the big bad boss at the end once you killed enough of the associates in an organization or something. That's kind of cool. Interesting. Okay. The map looks really cool too. It's very like I will say one thing that this game reminds me a lot of too is what is it? Assassin's Creed. This is very like Assassin's Creed feeling to me. Like the map and the stakes. Granted, you know, the time frame kind of makes me feel a lot that way too, specifically with Unity, because Unity was like one of the it's like the only Assassin's Creed game that I actually like played from start to finish and I really enjoyed personally. This is game because this is almost like the same kind of time period in a way, and like kind of feel it kind of like looks like it too in a way too with Assassin's Creed. Sorry if I'm repeating myself, guys. I'm just kind of like trying to get my thoughts through here as best as I can while trying to like process everything because this is still like a lot, right, for the first time here, or like a second time. But yeah, like this is like great though, and I love there's like no stamina too. Also, it's kind of funny there's cars in this game too, but we're riding the horse here. Also, there's a grappling hook too, which Ananta is gonna have supposedly. What they showed like in the not the gameplay trailer, but their like trailer that they had a while ago. But this is still cool, right? Like we're actually having a grapple hook. Now it seems like the grapple hook might be a little bit limited, where you can only use it to kind of like get up a little bit or across rooftops, but still not too bad, right? I do wonder if the horse is going to be like flat out better to like for full traversal or not, or maybe you're like a little bit more limited. And you guys are going to see here, this is something interesting you could do, but I don't know how useful this is going to be for. Yeah, you can pick up cats, kind of like the same thing that Ananta has, where like the whole like you could force pull things that they kind of showed off in one of their trailers as well. So it looks like some of the things from Ananta are literally being taken and then used in this game, which I think is a little bit funny. Yeah, and then this is really cool too. The horse can fly, guys. The horse can fly. So you can fly around the whole map basically as wherever you want. And then it looks like you have like 0 stamina that you have to worry about. So you can literally just keep going. Though it looks like the horse does kind of like descend. I don't know if you can bring it back up, but it looks like it does descend. Okay, no, you can bring it back up. Okay, I was gonna say, because like I noticed it kind of like galloping on like one of the rooftops to kind of get like jump back up. So I'm not too sure, but yeah, it looks like, yeah, you can literally go up or down wherever you want and then do cool turns like that, like if you're flying like a plane or something, right? The nighttime aesthetic looks really cool too. I will say though, for a game like this, I kind of hope that like if they ever add, because I'm assuming if they would add new regions, right? I wonder if they would only, if any new regions for a game like this would only be like a city-based kind of thing, or if like they would maybe like do something a little bit different, right? Because I don't really know how much more different stuff you could do if you're kind of like staying tied to this like time frame for like the aesthetic of the game, or there's maybe some other stuff. This is something I thought was interesting too. I will say though, even though I did watch this, I didn't watch this with subtitles, so some stuff will be new for me, like this. So let's see. So what does it say? So this is a bar here. It gives information about the bar, and then it mentions something about funds, which so it looks like maybe you can buy things in this game. Maybe you can buy buildings. I'm not too sure, but it mentions something about funds here and not having enough for the bar. So that's pretty interesting. And then it looks like, and there's another building here. Sadly, the subtitles didn't. Oh, here we go. So it talks about the building, okay. And then it says basically, do you want to buy? Okay, yeah, so it looks like you can buy buildings, okay. Maybe if you buy buildings, you get access to like more things you could do in the game, maybe. Like like maybe being able to upgrade or buy like a new thing that's like unlockable in the game, or like maybe the you know how in WoW you couldn't get the glider until like Renacita, right? Maybe it's kind of like that, where every time you buy a new building, you unlock something new you can do in the game, right? Either for traversal or for like combat or something. Maybe, like I said, I'm not too sure. It looks like there's also daily commissions here as well, like every other gacha game, or like HSR or something, where you send out your characters and then go out and get resources for you. Or maybe it's like a managed thing, like an Arknights, where like maybe you can send characters to manage each building that you do buy. That could be a thing too. That would be kind of cool though, low-key, if they hadn't had like the Arknights building, like the Arknights base system, but like replace the base with like buildings around the city, and then you can apply different characters around to kind of manage it. And then maybe you can build up currency or something for like other resources. That would be kind of a cool way to do it, I think. And then let's see, minimum spend required. So it looks like so in some of these places you have to spend money for something. I'm not too sure why. Or you could just sit here. There's also a timer here on the left, 21 seconds. Let's see. There's also like a little wine, sangria meter here for like your beer as well, or alcohol. The timer's not going down. Maybe there's like a mechanic where like you may have to play with around like how much you can drink, maybe. Okay, that's interesting. Of course, the voice acting isn't fully done here, right? Or maybe it's an aesthetic thing, I'm not too sure. It looks like that didn't really get played with, but you know, the game is still built working in progress, right? But like most of the game looks almost already done here, right? Most of the game already looks like it's done. And then, you know, we go through here, and there's actually something pretty cool you could do. So one thing that's cool about this game as well is you can stealth attack people. And I thought this was something else that was really cool. There's like full like Batman, like Metal Gear, like full like, you know, stealth takedowns like this, or Assassin's Creed takedowns too. And they look really cool. Like most gacha games, I'll be honest, with stealth mechanics, it's like you maybe press one button and they just kind of like instantly die or whatever, right? And there's like the full animation. We're going to here. This is also really cool. It's like this is an interrogation thing as well. Like some other games that have like a stealth thing I think this is also really cool. So like, looks like stealth and interrogation is going to be a really big thing. Granted, we're going to be a detective, right? So it makes sense, but this is still really cool. So it looks like you can interrogate, you can coerce maybe by like offering something or whatever, and then or you could just knock them out, right? Maybe you don't need information. So that's pretty cool. But it looks like there's no kill button, right? Because in some games like Metal Gear, right, you could like just flat out kill somebody if you want to. But it looks like here you only have interrogate, coerce, or stun. Unless stun, I guess, is considered the death, but in Metal Gear you could do stun, interrogate, or kill. So yeah, but it's fine. It's not a big deal, I think. The animations look pretty cool though. And then yeah, then if you want to like do this coerce thing, you have to like stab. Let's see. And I guess the course maybe is either like a truth serum, maybe, because it looks like you stab him, so maybe it's like a truth serum, but I'm not too sure. And then here's more of the combat here. It looks like you can also deflect bullets, which is pretty cool. You know, some games that you might have to pull a character to do that, but in this game, you can just do that for, you know, for free. Yeah, here's the other character, the one I'm more interested in. Now I don't know. I'm assuming it's probably the archetypes, right? Like you have defenders, your attackers, your healers, supporters, stuff like that. I'm gonna guess this chick is like supposed to be more so a healer for the team, maybe even a buffer. Looks like we can also see buffs down here as well. There's like different buffs here, so maybe like an attack buff, a health buff, something on bleed maybe, and some maybe like a status resistance buff as well. And then yeah, the meter kind of builds up on the right here. For this purple hair chick, she already has hers built up all the way seemingly. Okay. Oh, interesting. So when she uses her gun, when she brings it out and starts shooting it, her purple meter starts depleting. So maybe that's like your special skill, and when you do your special skill, that like goes away. It seems like this girl is either a healer or like a poison chick. And then we have an ice girl as well here. Interesting. Oh, hold on, wait. That like instantly got depleted. So she pulled her shield, right? Okay, so for this character, her special ability with maybe her like E or whatever is doing like a big shield bash, and it fully depletes the entire meter. But it looks like it kind of built up a little bit quickly. Okay, I do love the main chick though, like having like the gun and just kind of, you know, blasting away. I think that's a really cool thing. Plus, she also has like a cool sword. I don't know how good she's gonna be. They could also go either way, either like 50-50, either making the MC like good but not OP, right, where eventually you will drop them off, or kind of like Wuwa, or maybe even better than Wuwa, where the main character is still going to be super viable to use at any time you want, you know. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. Also it's kind of funny that the if you guys noticed here, in the combat looks like a good chunk, granted, right, the game is still being built, but it looks like in some places the random NPCs around the map disappear when you're fighting, and then out of combat they just kind of spawn back in. Granted, they'll probably switch it up a little bit, but it's something I just noticed right now. It's a little bit goofy. All right, and then this is a boss fight here. As for how far in the game, I don't know, right? Because we're literally just finding out about this game right now. But yeah, this is a boss fight here, which looks really cool, right? So it looks like this girl is literally riding a fucking fire carriage and holding a fucking AK. While also summoning fucking I don't know, bug drones that like, or like bomb. No, she's summoning bombs from the fucking onion carriage here, like it's out of Shrek or something, low-key. So yeah, it looks like this is like hey, if you guys think about it, this is just an Infernal Rider from Wuwa, no? This is just an Infernal Rider from Wuwa, you know? He has his bike, he gets off the bike and you fight him off the bike. Yeah, this character is pretty cool for this boss. So she has an AK, and she seems to have like whips or whatever that hold like a bunch of different swords, and she just like, you know, attacks you here, which is pretty cool. We got some more parries or stuff, or yeah, it would be parries. Okay, I wonder if there's like a special button for the parry or if it's just like war, you just like attack at the right time. This I thought was crazy though, where she's literally like fucking just like slamming her fucking foot down. Now let's see the spam F so you can get her foot off of you. That shit's crazy. That shit is actually crazy. But yeah, it's kind of like a cool like cinematic kind of cutscene with I guess sometimes like a low-key quick time event, but not really quick time. But yeah, that shit looks really crazy, guys. Like, wow. Yeah, we will 100% be covering this on the YouTube, guys. 100%, also probably Twitch streams as well. We will be 100% covering it. If they do release a closed beta test, I will try to get into it and try to stream it like I did with Do One Night Abyss. Hopefully sometime very soon I will actually get around to actually editing my Do One Night Abyss video, which is severely well, maybe not outdated, but like I need to get back to it, or start it, right? Because I've been meaning to do that for like a long time, but I haven't had time for that. Anyways, one last thing though before we do leave here, we just watched these. One last thing I wanted to get wanted to show you guys was this little I guess letter thing or whatever they did post on their on the official website here. So we're gonna go through this entire thing real quickly here just to see if there's any interesting information. So let's see. So May 13th 2025, Singapore, Silver Palace, a fantasy adventure ARPG built with Unreal Engine 5 has been officially announced today alongside the opening of global pre-registration, which if you guys want to, you can do that right now. I've read it myself, it's very simple. The announcement from interactive entertainment brand Elementa was accompanied by a brand new trailer and over a 10-minute gameplay walkthrough, which we just watched. And pre-registration for the game is now available. They just mentioned that. And here's some of the links. Silver Palace is a brand new ARPG set in a prosperous metropolis with a Victorian aesthetic. It features an engaging story, a delicate art style, distinctive characters, and a dynamic, action-oriented combat system. Players will play the role of a detective and embark on an adventure with a diverse group of partners to defeat unknown enemies and unravel the mystery in Silvernia, an industrialized metropolis built on the power of Silverium. Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Because it's literally called Silver Palace, so I guess it would make sense that a lot of things are called like silver in this game, just a little money in that regard. So the discovery of Silverium was the key to Silverium's Silvernia's it's gonna fucking give me a minute here. Industrialization. This revolutionary element transformed technology and daily life beyond imagination, attracting numerous residents and fostering innovation. The city became a hub of miracles, driven by the massive industrialization and monetization of Silverium under the city's administration. Okay. In Silver Palace, players assume the role of detective tasked with investigating crimes and uncovering hidden truths. As various factions, from corporate monopolies to underground syndicates to royal affiliates and cults, vie for control of Silverium, tensions rise across the city. Loki kind of like Batman in a way. You get the enemies in the higher leagues. You got them down below. You got them everywhere, basically. So kind of cool in that regard, I guess. Powered by Unreal Engine 5, Silver Palace features anime-style characters and a fluid immersive combat, which it did look pretty fluid for the most part and looked really fun. Players can switch between characters in real time to unleash powerful skills and chain QTE combos. Okay. As they explore the city's sprawling environments, and they'll dive into scenes of crime, hunt for the clues in the shadow, and battle their enemies. And in the process reveal more of the stories of Silvernia. Okay. Pretty cool. So basically just a little bit of like context of like what we're working with here. What is it, like the story, right? A little bit of the context for the story of like where this game's gonna take place and all that. Let me just double check there's anything new on the Twitter. Doesn't look like it. All right. Well, that was really cool. I will definitely keep you guys posted as often as I can for any new information. So if you guys are interested in this game, consider dropping a subscribe, consider subscribing, I will definitely be 100% covering this game on the YouTube though. And I will be updating you guys with any information as it drops as soon as I can. So with that being said though, guys, I'm gonna head on out. I'm super excited for this game, and I'm gonna see all you guys later. Peace and take care, everybody.